Good morning and happy blessed Friday. I was thinking about leaving room for differences and not trying to change someone or to control a situation. When I started my internship at the Women's Therapy Center, I remember a new set of interns coming in that August, and it was a Saturday, and I was seeing clients in the next room. And I had told my director that I would come in and show my face. Well, I thought I was doing something positive. I thought I was being a person to welcome in other women of color, let them know that I was there and I was there to support. And because I had been there for a while, I had my own experiences and wanted to just share a gist of what they were. And I was greeted with, "Oh, you're confident." And I didn't quite know how to take that comment, but I also didn't want to personalize it because the person who had said it didn't know me and I didn't know her. So I told myself I would hold it and get back to it. And I did. Later, I went back and I asked clarifying questions to better understand her perspective, what her comment meant. And I usually don't shy away from being direct about asking for clarity. We became closer as time went on, but I just thought how interesting that my confidence and the way in which I was coming into support was taken differently. Which brings me to differences. We're all different. We all have different strengths as well as weaknesses. And I love to talk about my weaknesses because it shows how imperfect I am. And I think, and in being imperfect, I'm relatable. And it shows how human I am. And so sometimes my confidence is taken out of context or taken the wrong way. And I will provide space to be able to sift through that, right? And so then there's this idea that, not an idea, the reality that we all have different personalities. And I am more laid back. Maybe when I was younger, I had a lot more energy and I was out there, bouncing around and see me, see me, see me. But now, not so much. And so being around a lot of high energy sometimes can be too much for me. So I have to know where I'm at before I can enter into a space like that. Because my intention is never to make the person who has the high energy feel bad. That in turn would be me trying to control a situation or change a person, and I can make someone feel not good. So I've learned to back up, take some space, know where I'm at before I enter into a situation, because I don't want anyone to feel bad. I don't want to mute someone. I don't want to change someone unless the behavior is harmful to themselves or other people. And then it's still not up to me. The person has to want to change. And change comes within. Change comes from reflection. And my father used to say, consider the source. And so if you don't know someone, you don't know where they're coming from. And that takes time. But when you know someone and you know the source, you can then sit and say, I'm not going to listen to the tone of voice or the passion behind it. I'm going to listen to the words and try to understand what it is that this person is, the message that they're trying to convey. And my mom used to say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So, two opposing points. My father was very passionate. He yelled a lot. And I don't know if he was heard when he was a child or his children just got on his nerves and we pushed him to a point where he yelled. And I knew I had to grow tougher skin in order to hear what my father was saying versus being sensitive and crying because his tone was off, or feeling like he was attacking when he wasn't. And when I learned, I could hear what he was saying more and less about how he delivered it. And then with my mom, I had to be careful of how I said what I said, because tone was everything to her. Again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And when I became a mother myself, those very same lessons that I had with both my parents who were opposite, I was now in the mix of it with my own child. That depending on what the topic was, I had to be careful how I conveyed the message. And it wasn't a matter of me being the adult and knowing how or what to say and when to say it and what I say goes. If I'm going to rear him to be an individual and think for himself, even better to be able to hear the love, the correction, the direction, and the messaging, I had to check myself. And in learning your children, you learn that if you have more than one, they're all different. And in being different, it means being able to adjust yourself, your tone, in order to provide them with the information they'll need when you're no longer around. It's less about control and more about how to, right? The same way teachers have to learn how to teach every child who is different, the way coaches have to adjust their temperament and know that they can't coach every person the same. Again, we all have strengths, we all have weaknesses, we all have ways in which we receive the message. And if I want you to be your best, I have to learn what works best for you, and not in a people-pleasing way, but in a I'm trying to give you a nugget or guidance. And in order for that to take place, I need to learn who my audience is. Thank you for listening. I love you. Happy Blessed Friday.